Welcome to the ATC Life Builders Podcast, where we dive deep into the topics that shape our lives from the roots up. I'm your host, James Oviedo. In today's episode, we'll cover a subject close to the heart of every family: how parent leadership can help children be successful in school and in life. We'll explore the often unsung role of parents as leaders, mentors, and guides. We'll discuss the importance of values in parenting and leadership, understanding how these principles can fortify our children's character and decision-making in the world today. Finally, we're going to delve into the crucial role of communication, breaking down just how much it empowers strong relationships and effective leadership within the family unit. So, whether you're a parent, grandparent, guardian, educator, or just someone interested in the dynamics of family and leadership, this is the conversation for you. Get ready to engage, reflect, and perhaps even transform the way you think about steering the ship at home. So let's get started. Parent leadership is a concept that might sound a bit formal at first, but when you think about it, it's something that most of us have experienced in one way or another. It refers to the approach parents take in guiding and influencing their children on a pathway to success, not just within the walls of a classroom, but in all facets of life. But what does it mean to be a parent leader? Well, it doesn't necessarily mean you need to have a fancy title or a big office. It's more about being intentional in the way you support and steer your children towards their goals and their aspirations. It's the small day-to-day actions, the values you demonstrate through your own life, and the conversations you have that together form your leadership style as a parent. Think about how important that is in shaping a person and the world that they will influence, either positively or negatively. Leadership in parenting is just like leadership anywhere else. It's about setting a vision for a future. As a parent leader, your team might be your family, and your mission is to foster an environment where your children can grow into confident, responsible, and capable adults. This might mean you're the cheerleader on the sidelines of their soccer or handball game, the mentor who helps them tackle their homework, or the savvy negotiator who helps them manage friendships when things get complicated and it all seems unfair. Parent leaders understand the balance between guidance and autonomy. They know when to take the reins and when to let go, allowing children to make their own mistakes and learn from them. This is where the academic performance angle comes in. Studies have shown that when parents are actively involved in their children's education, those children tend to perform better in school. They achieve higher grades and are more likely to continue their education beyond high school. But the influence of parent leadership stretches far beyond report cards and school gates. It leaves its fingerprint on children's personal development too. How they deal with setbacks, their work ethic, their sense of responsibility, and their ability to lead others. These are all facets molded by the examples set by parent leaders. Parent leadership also means being proactive rather than reactive. Instead of waiting for issues to arise, effective parent leaders anticipate challenges and equip their children with the tools to handle them. This includes a continuous dialogue about everything from their day at school to their biggest dreams for the future. It's also about fostering resilience, something we covered in our last podcast titled When Life Seems Unfair. Parent leaders encourage their children to push through adversity, to rise after they fall, and to view every challenge as an opportunity for growth. A parent leader is the kind of person who will be there with a comforting word, after a bad day, but will also encourage their child to go back out there and give it another shot, imparting the wisdom that's not always about the victory, but the journey and what you learn from it. Now, that's a timeless truth for any age. Remember, parent leadership isn't about being perfect. It's about being present, being supportive, and above all, being a role model your children want to follow. And it's not just a one-person job. In a family, leadership can be shared as a role with both parents and sometimes older siblings or extended family members, playing a part in steering the ship. Let's not forget the supportive role teachers and friends in your circle can have as well. So, why does this all matter? Because the world needs leaders, not just in boardrooms or at podiums, but in homes, at dinner tables, and in the quiet moments before bedtime. Parent leadership is the unsung hero in the narrative of a child's success. It's the guiding hand that often remains invisible, yet its impact can last a lifetime. In our journey today, we're delving not into a set of rigid rules or one-size-fits-all parenting playbook. Instead, we're exploring the heart and soul of what it means to shape and guide the next generation through the highs and lows of growing up. Stick with us as we continue this deep dive into the essence of parent leadership, the solid values it's built upon, and the vibrant communication it thrives on. Let's delve into the vital role values play in parent leadership. As we explore, remember that the seeds of leadership are planted by the values we instill in our children. These are the guidelines for behavior that will serve as their compass throughout life, influencing decisions, shaping personalities, and ultimately determining their actions as future leaders. Now, let me tell you, values don't come from a handbook. They're lived experiences, observed actions. Think of it like this. When children see their parents consistently demonstrating honesty, kindness, and resilience, they don't just hear about these values, they experience them in action, and this makes all the difference in the world. Like a sponge, they absorb these patterns of behavior, internalizing so deeply that it becomes second nature. They learn to weigh their choices, to empathize with peers, and to push through adversity, drawing on these core values as a guide. And that's just the beginning. When children are raised with a clear moral framework, they gain confidence. This self-assurance will empower them to stand up for what they believe in, to lead by example. What we're actually doing is equipping them with a moral toolkit. It's like we're giving them the raw materials for courage and discipline, empathy. When they combine these to build their own brand of leadership, consider the values you cherish most, whether it's integrity, responsibility, or respect. These aren't just words. They manifest in everyday moments of our life. Holding a door open for a stranger, admitting when they're wrong, standing up for a classmate. Each one is a building block for a larger structure, the structure of leadership. But how do we ensure that those values stick? Through consistency and reinforcement. When a child watches a parent approach a difficult situation with composure and respect, even when it's tempting to take the easy way out, it sends a powerful message. It's about what we do when we think no one is looking, because in reality, someone's always looking. Our kids. Let's not forget to celebrate when our children live out these values. Acknowledgement reinforces positive behavior. So when you witness your child showing compassion or taking initiative, highlight it. Let them know you see their efforts and explain why it's important. This validation not only puts wind in their sails, but also drives the importance of these values. The beautiful thing about this process is that it's infectious. Values-based leadership in the family can spread beyond the home. Children lead their peers, influence their communities, and eventually the workplace. What starts around your dinner table can echo out into the world in profound ways. In moments of success and challenge alike, children will fall back on the values introduced at home. Whether it's standing up to peer pressure, dealing with academic pressure, or navigating complex social dynamics, the compass of their upbringing shows them the way. And when they eventually step into the roles of leadership in their own lives, whether it's a project leader, a team captain, or community organizer, they will draw on the same values you've nurtured in them. Stop thinking this is only the school and teacher's role. Remember, parent leaders isn't about creating a perfect mold for children to fit into. It's about providing a flexible framework tailored to the unique individual that is your child. And within this framework, values become the non-negotiables, the anchors. It's about teaching them not just how to navigate the ship of life, but how to do so with honor, respect, and sincerity. As parents, we are the primary architects of our children's moral blueprint. When we lead with values, we create not just successful individuals, but individuals who can contribute positively to society. We help craft leaders who are not only effective, but also empathetic, ethical, and equipped to handle the challenges of tomorrow. To wrap up, the values we instill in our children resonate far beyond the walls of our homes. They become the guiding principles for our children's future leadership. And that, my dear listeners, is what something truly powerful, shaping not just the leaders of tomorrow, but the very fabric of the future we share as a community member of the world. Now, let's consider communication. Communication isn't just about talking. It's about connecting. It's the bridge between misunderstanding and clarity, between conflict and resolution. As parents, mastering this bridge is not just a tool in our toolkit, it is the toolkit. Without it, every effort we make towards leading our children towards success can falter before it even begins. Consider for a moment your relationship with your child. Like any relationship, it's a dance of give and take, a series of subtle cues and direct statements that guide interactions. The essence of your role as a parent leader is to choreograph this dance thoughtfully with the kind of communication that leads to trust, empathy, and eventually independence. So, how do we turn words into a parenting superpower? Let's start with active listening. It sounds simple, doesn't it? Listening. But there's an ocean of difference between hearing and listening. Active listening involves being fully present. It's about engaging with your child, asking questions, and showing that you're interested in their thoughts and in their feelings. It's through this engagement that trust is built, and a child who trusts is a child who talks, not just about the trivial things, but about the hopes, the dreams, the fears, and the very things that you as a parent need to know to guide them effectively. But listening is only half the conversation. How we talk to our children can either close doors or open a world of opportunities. It is not merely what we say, but how we say it. Think about the difference between the words, "Tell me about your day," said with genuine interest and warmth, and the same sentence said with distraction and impatience. The former invites your children to share. The latter often subconsciously shuts them down. Then there's the importance of nonverbal communication, the unspoken part of our conversations that can speak louder than words. From our facial expressions to body language, children read more into our nonverbal cues than we might realize. A simple nod, a smile can communicate more love and encouragement than a dozen words spoken in haste. Beyond verbal and nonverbal communication, there's also the art of guiding. As parent leaders, communication is our most valuable tool for setting expectations. This isn't about commanding compliance, but rather about inviting cooperation. When we communicate clearly and consistently about our values and the behavior we expect, children learn to understand and to trust the boundaries we set. They learn accountability and the value of commitment. However, effective communication doesn't stop with instruction and guidance. It thrives on feedback. Feedback is communication that helps a child understand where they stand. It's how they learn to self-correct, to feel pride in their achievements, and to learn from their mistakes. When giving feedback, it's crucial to focus on the effort rather than the outcome. Celebrate the hard work, the dedication, and the persistence. This type of positive reinforcement motivates children to keep trying, to not fear failure. Feedback turns into feed forward for their success. An often overlooked aspect of communication is the ability to apologize and to forgive. As parents, showing our children that we can own up to our mistakes and seek forgiveness teaches them humility and the courage to admit their own faults. Similarly, when we forgive our children and help them learn from their missteps, we reinforce the idea that mistakes are opportunities for growth, not something to be ashamed of. Now, none of this happens overnight. It's a process, a journey that we take with our children. It means having tough conversations at times, and at other times, embracing moments of pure joy and silliness. It involves growth, reflection, and yes, a fair bit of patience. But the rewards, witnessing your child grow into a confident, capable, and compassionate individual, are immeasurable. These are just a few of the ways that communication acts as the pivotal point of parent leadership. Each interaction you have with your child has the potential to teach, to guide, and to connect. Remember, effective communication is a continuous, dynamic process. And as with all things worth mastering, it takes practice. By honing these skills, we don't just become better parents. We become the leaders our children need to navigate the complex world before them. In addition, we're making the world a better place with every child we influence who grows up and positively impacts our world. Remember, you don't need to be a parent or have children to support this important role. A strong foundation in open, honest, and positive communication sets our children on a path to success in school, in life, in relationships, and eventually in their own leadership roles. So let's keep the conversation going, because every word, every glance, every gesture lays another brick in the robust path towards our children's futures. After all, in the end, isn't the truest form of success seeing them lead their own lives with purpose, passion, and clear communication? And just like that, we've journeyed through the essential landscape of parent leadership, values, and communication, unearthing the treasures they hold for guiding our children to success. It's clear that the influence of strong parent leadership cannot be understated. It's the scaffold that supports our children's growth in school and throughout their life journey. Values stand as the compass that guides them, fostering the kind of leaders we wish to see in the world. And let's not forget communication. It's the bridge that connects us, the tool that fortifies understanding and fuels progress. Thank you, dear listeners, for tuning into another episode of ATC Life Builders Podcast. If you're enjoying our community, please support us by making sure you're following us on Spotify, Amazon, iHeartRadio, and Pocket Casts. And don't be shy about sharing us with your friends and family and circles of influence, please. Every follower provides us the attention we need to continue building podcasts that inspire, motivate, and provide teaching and understanding to live the best and most fulfilling life possible. Our podcasts are not randomly put together. Every topic is designed to keep building on lessons to provide us the resources we need to live with success, significance, and service. So make sure you're following, and please don't hesitate to leave a comment on Spotify. We hope today's conversation inspires you to reflect on your parenting journey and embrace the leadership role that will help your children thrive. Remember that even if you're not a parent, you still play a significant leadership role in the life and development of a child who may be observing you or simply needs another resource. Until next time, keep living, learning, and loving, and keep nurturing those future leaders.